Welcome back to the deep dive. If you've been anywhere near tech news or, social media lately, you couldn't miss it.
Oh yeah, the big announcement.
Exactly. OpenAI drops their new agent builder,
hmm
and immediately the headlines are all, "This is the end for N8N and similar workflow tool."
Right. It's that classic tech hype cycle. A big
Yeah,
name releases something new and suddenly everything else is obsolete. It's rarely that simple.
absolutely. And that's precisely why we're doing this deep dive today. We're going to cut through all that noise, look at the actual source material, the tool itself, and do a real hands-on comparison.
Based on experience building, actual production agents.
Yes. The core question is, can this new OpenAI tool genuinely replace the kind of robust platforms you need for building complex, ready-to-go AI agents today?
It's a fair question, but look, the tool is interesting, it's shiny, it's new, it's OpenAI, but suggesting it competes head-to-head right now with something like NAN, which has, years of development specifically in automation, it's just, well, it's misleading at this stage. There are significant gaps.
So think of this as your shortcut through the hype. We're going to show you how to get into the tool, what the basic pieces are, and crucially, where those big functional limitations pop up, especially for more serious enterprise-level stuff.
We're talking about nodes, definitely model access, and maybe the biggest one, real workflow orchestration.
Okay, let's jump right in. How do you even start?
Simple enough. You go to platform.openai.com, agent-builder, fire it up.
And you land on basically a blank canvas, right? Ready for you to start building your automation flow.
Exactly. And like pretty much any automation tool out there, you've got your start node. That's your trigger where everything kicks off. You can't delete it, obviously. It has to start somewhere.
Makes sense. And then the idea is you connect nodes together to build the workflow logic.
Right, the building blocks. But this is where, if you've used other platforms, you hit the first very obvious difference.
The number of nodes available.
Yeah, node scarcity is, putting it mildly, compared to, say, NAN with its thousands of integrations for specific apps and services, the OpenAI builder is sparse, very sparse right now.
What do you got?
They're grouped into four main categories: core, tools, logic, and data. Core is super basic. You've got the agent node itself, that's your AI brain, and a note node, basically like a sticky note for comments on your workflow.
Okay, just two core nodes. What about tools? That sounds more promising.
Well, it's where the interaction happens, but again, limited. You have file search, which acts kind of like a simple vector database interface, lets the agent search through documents you've uploaded.
Useful for retrieval augmented generation, or edge.
Exactly. Then there's guardrails for safety and moderation. And then there's something called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP.
MCP. Okay, what's that? Sounds important.
It is. It's essentially OpenAI's way, their standard, for how the AI agent can ask for structured data from an outside app or server. Think of it like a specific language the agent uses to request info via an API.
So if I want my agent to talk to, say, my CRM or email service.
That service needs to be set up specifically to understand and respond using this MCP protocol. It's the only way currently for the agent to interact with external tools beyond basic web search or file search.
Ah, okay. So not like having hundreds of pre-built connectors for common SaaS apps like you'd find elsewhere.
Not at all. It heavily relies on external systems adopting their protocol. That's a big ask and a major limitation for integrating with the tools businesses already use.
It really points towards a more, let's say, self-contained ecosystem focus, at least for now.
Seems that way. Internal coherence over broad external connectivity.
Okay, theory is one thing. Let's make it concrete. The sources looked at a pre-built template, right? The customer service automation agent. How does that actually work using these nodes?
Yeah, that template is a good way to see the intended flow. It starts, naturally, with the start node maybe triggered by a customer message coming in.
And then does it go straight to the AI agent?
Nope. First up, immediately after the trigger is a jailbreak guardrail node.
Interesting. Why right at the start?
Safety first. It's designed to catch prompt injection attempts, basically malicious inputs trying to hijack the agent. It also handles content moderation, blocking harmful stuff, and, importantly, PII detection.
PII. Personal identifiable information. So like names, emails, phone numbers.
Exactly. It tries to spot that sensitive data in the customer's query. If it finds it, it can flag it or mask it. That's crucial for privacy and compliance, making sure you're not accidentally logging or processing things you shouldn't. It's a basic safety check before the main processing.
Got it. So assuming the input passes a safety check, then it hits the AI.
Then it goes to the main classification agent. This is an AI agent node, and this is where you give it its core job description, its instructions.
Which is like the system prompt in N8N or other tools.
Precisely. You tell it exactly what you want it to do. In this customer service example, the instructions are basically read the customer's message and figure out if they want to. 1, return an item. 2, cancel a subscription. Or 3, just get information. Classify it into one of those buckets.
Okay, so the agent does its classification. Then the workflow needs to branch based on that output.
Right. And that leads directly to the conditions node. It's essentially an IO-else block. If the classification was cancel subscription, go down path A. If it was return item, go down path B, and so on.
Standard logic. But
Yeah.
you mentioned this is where usability drops off a bit.
Yeah, this is a really key point where it feels less like a polished no-code tool. Setting up that condition, it's surprisingly manual.
Oh, so you don't just click a drop down.
You'd think so, but no. You actually have to type out something that looks very much like a line of code, like literally typing if input.parse.classification includes the class error case by classification equals return item.
Wow, okay. So you need to know the exact output structure of the previous node and type the condition correctly.
Exactly. There's no visual mapping, no just clicking the output field from the classification agent and choosing equals from a list. You're writing pseudocode in a text box. For people drawn to visual drag-and-drop builders, that's a pretty significant step up in complexity and potential for errors.
Definitely raises the barrier compared to just connecting noodles visually. Okay, but let's say you get the condition right. What happens next?
The flow then goes to a more specialized action agent. So if the condition was cancel subscription, it might route to a retention agent.
And that agent has its own specific instructions.
Right. Its system prompt might be something like, the user wants to cancel, offer them a discount or free shipping first, respond politely. And the output of that agent is usually just the text response that gets sent back to the customer.
So it works for that kind of simple linear path. Classify, branch, act.
It does. For that specific template, it functions.
Yeah.
But now, let's pivot. Let's talk about why this setup, while functional for basics, really falls short when you compare it to building more complex, real-world automations.
Let's start with the core. The AI agent node itself. We know it's OpenAI's platform.
Mhm.
What does that mean for the actual AI models you can use?
It means exactly what you'd expect. You're locked into OpenAI's GPT models. Now, GPT-4, they're fantastic models, arguably industry-leading in many areas, but
But vendor lock-in is always a concern in production, right?
it's a massive limitation for serious production environments. But hold on, let me push back slightly. Isn't using only GPT models potentially a good thing for some? Simpler setup, consistent performance, maybe better integration within their own system.
That's a really good point. For simpler tasks, maybe sticking with one top-tier model provider is easier. But why is having choice so critical for complex or specialized business needs?
Because different models genuinely excel at different things. The sources we looked at mentioned, for example, Anthropic's Claude models. They're often preferred for tasks requiring extreme safety, like analyzing legal documents or ensuring compliance because of how they're trained.
Ah, so specialized strengths.
Exactly. Or maybe you need sheer speed for a particular task and you want to use something like Grok's ultra-fast inference. Or maybe Google's Gemini has a feature set that fits your specific use case better. If your project's success hinges on a particular model capability, be it safety, speed, coding ability, whatever, you need the flexibility to choose the best tool for that specific job.
Not just the tool the platform vendor happens to offer.
Precisely. With the OpenAI builder right now, your AI toolbox contains only OpenAI hammers. With platforms like N8N, you can bring in hammers, screwdrivers, wrenches, whatever the job requires from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Cohere, open source models, you name it.
That makes total sense. The right tool for the job. Okay, so model flexibility is one major difference. What about connecting the agent to other tools and managing complex processes? Orchestration.
This, I think, is the single biggest architectural difference right now. It's the bottleneck. We mentioned the available tools in the OpenAI builder: web search, file search, and MCP servers. That's it. A very small toolkit.
And how does that compare when you think about, like, delegating tasks?
Fundamentally different paradigms. Think of the OpenAI agent currently as a very smart specialist. It can perform its core task really well using its built-in tools, but platforms like N8N, they allow you to build an orchestrator.
An orchestrator, like a project manager AI.
Exactly like that. In N8N, your main AI agent node can be given tools that are actually other AI agents or even entire separate N8N workflows.
Well, okay, so the main agent can delegate.
Precisely. Imagine a complex request comes in. The main orchestration agent analyzes it and says, okay, I need agent A, maybe running Claude, to do the legal review, agent B, maybe GPT-4, to draft to the creative copy, and workflow C to pull the latest customer data from the CRM. It sends out those subtasks, gets the results back, synthesizes them, and produces the final combined output.
That ability to manage and delegate to multiple specialized team members.
Is completely impossible in the current OpenAI agent builder. It can only follow its single set of instructions using its very limited internal toolkit, file search, web search, MCP. It can't manage other agents or workflows.
That really draws the line between a helpful assistant doing one thing and a system capable of automating an entire multi-step business process.
Absolutely. It's the difference between a calculator and a programmable computer. One last detail on the agent node itself. Customization. We talked about manually typing the JSON schema for classification outputs. What about the technical AI settings?
Like temperature, max tokens, top P, they're available, right?
They are, yes. You can tweak them. But again, think about the target user. For someone coming in looking for a low-code or no-code solution, having to manually adjust things like temperature.
Which controls creativity versus predictability.
Right, or max tokens, which sets response length. Or top P, affecting word choice and coherence. These are fairly technical LLM parameters. A true no-code user probably shouldn't need to fine-tune these directly. Ideally, they'd be handled by simpler presets or higher-level settings like be more creative or keep responses concise.
So it offers power, but maybe the expense of the simplicity expected from this kind of builder interface.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, let's zoom out. If you're talking to someone today who needs to build complex, reliable automations for their business, or for clients not just playing around, but production stuff, what's the current verdict on the OpenAI Agent Builder?
Look, it's impressive as a version 1, a glimpse of the potential. But for building those robust, interconnected, production-scale workflows right now, honestly, it's not there yet. The severe limits on tools, the absolute lack of LLM choice, that manual conditions setup, it makes it unsuitable for complex enterprise-grade tasks at this moment.
We definitely need to stress, though, this is brand new. Version 1, it's obviously just the beginning.
Oh, absolutely. And the future potential is where the real excitement lies.
What's the big dream scenario here?
The dream is true natural language workflow creation. Imagine just talking to the builder, maybe through a chat GPT interface, describing the workflow you want. When a customer emails about a return, check their order history, then draft an approval email. And the builder automatically constructs the nodes and connections.
Wow, okay. That would lower the barrier to entry dramatically.
Massively. If they can achieve that and significantly expand the node library, add real tool flexibility, allow connections to other models, then it becomes a true game changer. But until that orchestration piece and the external connectivity are much stronger, established platforms still hold the advantage for complex work.
So the key takeaway for you listening is pretty clear. The OpenAI Agent Builder is super easy to get started with, definitely worth exploring. But for building those complex, customized, multi-model workflows needed in production, where you need to delegate tasks and connect lots of systems, established platforms like NAN are still essential today due to those core limitations around model choice and orchestration.
Which leads to maybe a provocative thought for you to chew on. We know how fast OpenAI moves. How long do you genuinely think it will take for their agent builder to reach the kind of complexity, model flexibility, and integration depth we see in mature open source tools now? Is it 6 months? A year? 2 years?
It's fascinating to speculate. We really want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think of the Agent Builder? How quickly do you see it evolving? Let us know in the comments or join the discussion on our community platform.
Yeah, tell us what you think, and definitely suggest any other tools or comparisons you'd like us to dive into next.
Thanks so much for diving deep with us today. If you found this useful, please do give it a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future deep dives, and maybe share it with someone else who's trying to navigate all this AI hype. We appreciate your support.